Okay, so our test is KeyMath Revised. It's a diagnostic inventory of essential mathematics. KeyMath provides a comprehensive assessment of students' understanding and application of important mathematic concepts and skills. So we both gave this test to family members, and I'm just going to give a brief introduction of the test, and then we're going to go over the procedures of the test. So KeyMath is intended for students K through 9. I gave my test to my 8th grade brother, and she gave hers to a kindergartner. There are alternative forms of KeyMath, so there's A and B. So that's helpful if you're giving like a student it maybe twice or giving 2 students a test. There are different forms. It can be administered by a general education teacher, special education teacher, an aide, or other paraprofessionals. So there's a wide range of people who can give this test. And the administration takes 35 to 50 minutes. It took me about 50 minutes to give.
Took me about 45 minutes.
Yeah. And it covers many concepts. The basic concepts it covers are numeration, rational numbers, geometry, and then operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and mental computation. And then the applications are measurement, time, money, estimation, interpreting data, and problem solving. While I was giving the test, I found that operations were the hardest to give because it's some in the booklet and some are like oral questioning. So that was a little difficult, but it did, I think, provide a good overall score of operations like in the basic math way. It includes diagnostic information pertaining to the total test, areas of the test, subtests, including those like specific like operations and numerations and stuff like that, and also specific domains. And then this diagnostic information can be used for a variety of educational decisions.
Okay, and then so now for an overview of the procedures that we had to go through. First, you have to establish an appropriate setting to administer the test. You don't want a lot of distractions or anything like that. And then you want to introduce the test to the student using a description that's age appropriate to them so that they understand what they're doing. Next, you're going to administer the first test, which is numeration. The starting point is based on grade. So it shows within the book K through 9, and then so say they're in 6th grade, you start where a 6th grade level should be at. Continue administering the test until you reach the ceiling of 3 consecutive incorrect responses. So after they got 3 incorrect in a row, we would stop and move on to the next section. For the remaining subtests, you would begin the test using the starting point indicated by the numeration basal. Continue administering each test until you reach a ceiling of 3 incorrect responses. So the same thing, you would do it through every single one. After they got 3 incorrect, then you would stop and move on to the next. And then after that, we had a big manual, the KeyMath manual, that we would interpret the students' responses or the scores. And then it had, after you would do that, it had like percentile ranks, and then you could do the equivalent grade and age that they had with their scores.
Yeah, the manual was really easy to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's on the booklet, and it has a good description of each thing, and it's very like basic and easy to understand and read, and then the charts are easy to follow along too. You can do it by grade equivalent or age equivalent scores. I did grade equivalent.
I did a little bit of both, just because I wanted to see because she was my family member, I wanted to see where she was at. So, and that was one thing that I was kind of nervous about, was because she was in kindergarten. I didn't know how well it would go, because I wasn't sure how much she knew and how well she would do, but it ended up being really easy, so I really liked that.
Yeah, and I had kind of the opposite scale. My brother was in 8th grade, so it was the higher level questions, and I thought it may be difficult because sometimes he didn't actually reach the ceiling. The test would just end, but once I got into scoring it all still worked out fine.
Yep.
And then one other thing I thought was difficult was my brother would ask, like, did I get this right? How am I doing? And sometimes it's hard to, like, answer those questions.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future I would prepare, like, responses, like, that are encouraging and age appropriate. Like, for a kindergartner, you may be, like, a little more, like, happy and cheery. And then for, like, an 8th grader, you may be like, yeah, you're, like, doing good, like.
Yeah, I kept finding myself wanting to say, like, good job, you got it right, that kind of thing, or correcting her whenever she, like, helping her out a little bit, even though I wasn't supposed to. So.
Yeah, but overall, I think this is a good math achievement test, and I think it provided a lot of helpful information if you were
Yep.
trying to gauge that information for a student.